today I'm coming to you with my June book haul and wrap up. This video is going to be a little bit delayed because of the biannual bibliothon which I'll be taking part in, so I apologize for that, but it won't be too late into the month, I hope. In the month of June, I only bought 4 books. 3 of them were pre-orders and 1 came in my YA Chronicles box, and the other book that I got, because I actually got 5 books, was from the lovely Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Reader. I won her 2 years on BookTube giveaway, and she was so sweet. She sent me a book, and I think she sent me 2 books, but one of them hasn't arrived. And in the month of June, I also read 4 books and one part of a book, sort of 5. Let's count it as 5, but one of them is the first part of a serialized novel, which I'm sure you can already guess what it is if you know what came out this month. So let's start off with the book haul. So the first book that I have here to show you is the book that I got from Sabrina, and that is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I'm so excited to be reading this. I should be reading this during the biannual bibliothon. This is the first book and I'm super excited to read it, so thank you so much again, Sabrina. I'm very excited to be reading this. The next book that I have here to show you is one of my pre-orders, and that is Summer Days and Summer Nights, which is edited by Stephanie Perkins. If you don't know, in December of 2014, a book was released that was called My True Love Gave to Me, and it was 12 short holiday stories, and this is 12 short summer stories. There are a whole bunch of authors on here that are really well known, like Leigh Bardugo, we've got Libba Bray, Cassandra Clare, Nina LaCour, Stephanie Perkins, obviously, Veronica Roth, Jennifer E. Smith, and then there are some others on there which I've never heard of before. It's so pretty. It's got the yellow pages. The next book that I got was also a pre-order, and I'm very upset about this book because basically this book came out in hardcover last year, and I have the American paperback edition. Keyword there, American. So I see that the paperback edition for this book, which is the second book in the series, is available for pre-order, and I pre-ordered it like a year ago. Then it arrives at my house, and it's the English paperback edition of The Boy Most Likely To by Huntley Fitzpatrick. It's sort of a companion book to My Life Next Door, which I read last year and really enjoyed. This is a bit upsetting because it doesn't match, and I waited a year to get this book, but I think it's better to have them both in paperback, even if they are different paperback formats, than having one in paperback and one on hardcover. The next book that I got, I'm so excited about, and I think this book hasn't come out in America yet. I think it came out in England first, and that is This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab, but then again, I've only read one of her books, which was A Darker Shade of Magic, but I absolutely loved that. But I'm really excited. And I also love her covers because they always have this white theme, and they all seem to be white and red themed, which is really cool, and I really like them all. I've heard really interesting things about this, but I'm not really sure what it's entirely about, and I'm pretty sure this hasn't come out in America yet, although it probably has by the time this video goes up. And the final book that I got was the book that I got in my YA Chronicles box, and that is You Know Me Well by David Levithan and Nina LaCour. I actually thought I was probably going to be getting this because the theme for last month was Pride, so I kind of thought that it was probably going to be this book. Just had a hunch that it was going to be this one because I know this was being released last month, and I know that it features gay or bisexual characters. I can't exactly remember. I don't read enough LGBT books. So those are all of the books that I bought or received in the month of June. Now onto the books that I read. The first book that I finished in the month of June was Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead. I think I actually finished this on the 31st of May, but I'd already filmed my May wrap up by that point. I listened to this book on audiobook, and I really enjoyed listening to it in that format. I really liked this book. It's hard to talk about this book because this is the 4th book in the Vampire Academy series, so I don't want to spoil you on anything. But I did really enjoy this book, apart from some things that are going on with the characters. It's just a little bit heartbreaking. So I only give this book a 3.75 out of 5 stars because it wasn't my favorite in the series. The next book that I read in the month of June was The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This was a reread for me. When I originally read this book, I only gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I really didn't enjoy it for one reason or another. But rereading this book, I loved it so much more. I actually ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars, and I think I just have a much better appreciation for this book because I now don't really like the main characters, so the fact that this book features mainly on a side character kind of made me enjoy it a bit more, I think. I reread this in preparation for reading The Last Star, which came out in May. The next book that I read, I actually have a review up already, so I won't talk too much about it, but that was The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I recently started reading Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, and I love them. So when I saw this on NetGalley, I was like, I have to request this. And when I got approved, I was really excited. So yeah, I read and reviewed this book, and I gave that book a 4 out of 5 stars. So if you want to see my full thoughts on that book, go ahead and click the link down below. The review is spoiler free. So the next book that I read was another book that I've already reviewed, and that was Deception Island by Bryn Kelly. I received this book in exchange for an honest review as part of BookTube tours, which are run by Grace from Lemon Den Books. I'll link her channel down below, as well as the link to become a host and all the stuff about BookTube tours down below. This book was not my favorite. I only gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I really think that's because it just wasn't for me personally. I think that romantic thriller books are just not really my thing. I don't know. There was just some issues that I had with it. But I'll link my review down below in case you want to go check it out. That is also spoiler free. The final book that I read was part 1 of a novel which is being serialized, so it's being released in different parts. And if you don't know what that book is, that book is Zenith by Lindsay Cummings and our very own Sasha Ellsberg. I mean, by our very own, I mean BookTube's very own Sasha Ellsberg, whose channel is A Book Utopia, in case you didn't know, but I'm sure you already know. She's released a book, and not only that, but it's #1 on the New York Times bestselling list, which is so unbelievably exciting. I'm so happy for both of them. I think it's so cool for booktubers to be able to produce a book that's not only great, but also is like, everyone knows it's great because it's #1 right now. So it's not just going to be people who watch BookTube who read it, it'll be a wider audience as well. This book was so good. I cannot wait for the next parts. I loved this book. I will probably be doing a review of it, but in case I don't, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars, and I cannot wait for the next part. And yeah, huge congratulations to Lindsay and Sasha, because it's a great book and everyone should go out and buy it on Kindle. So before I go, I'm just going to choose out of my TBR jar for July. We have this one. The challenge for July is to read a book over 600 pages. This is a hard challenge, but I did just finish reading The Diviners, which I will include that in my July wrap-up because I actually finished it on July 1st. And I already have Lair of Dreams on my Kindle, but I am considering getting the audiobook version of this, so I might read Lair of Dreams and count that as my book over 600 pages. If not, I'll let you know what I read. My June challenge was to read a book that was published in 2016, and 3 out of the 5 books that I read were published in 2016, so I definitely completed that challenge. Anyway, that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below, and I'll see you all very soon with another video. Bye!